What's up, everybody? It's Dominic D'Angelo, Studio1Sports.com, and I'm here with Mr. Robert Karplitz, WD Creative _ish. It's a Tuesday. We missed Monday, but we're back, and we're ready to talk a little WWE Raw and some other things, too. Robert, how are you, my man?
It depends. Did you watch Raw last night?
I did watch Raw.
Then you probably know how I'm feeling right about now.
I have a hunch.
Sorry we didn't get a chance to be here yesterday. Work conflicts for both of us knocked us out of our normal live routine. But if it helps, I waited for some of my other coworkers to screw something up at noon just to feel like I was working with Dom.
Did they deliver?
That is confidential. I will not bury anybody, but you know. Let's say hi to some of the folks joining us in the chat. Michael Partham says, hello, R, and I'm curious what Robert thought of the Jade and Rhea segment on Friday, seeing as there were no references to their spat on X or anything else that was insidery. It felt weirdly, I guess, limp and somewhat forgettable. It was fine. Their segment on SmackDown was, you have a great body, but I have a great body. Mr. Road Dog, miss you every day. Boss Brat 3429 says, hey Dom, why didn't the Jets sign Tua?
I'll tell you why.
I don't want to talk about Tua. The amount of money that the Miami Dolphins have spent on this goof, on this. I get where you make the mistake once. I watched the guy play for 6 years. There was nothing that made me go, you know what, let's give that guy the gross national product of a small country.
Yes.
I didn't understand it. The concussions, the poor decision making just in terms of QB instincts. And it takes a lot for me to say anything positive about a quarterback from Alabama. But even as far as quarterbacks from Alabama go, Tua, I hope he winds up a Jet. You know what?
He's a Falcon. He's a Falcon.
Robert. I know he's a Falcon.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I hope someday you are burdened in the same way I am. Cammy Star says, after morning, guys, I had something snappy to say, but it got lost in a curse.
I think
Tony Gong says, no show yesterday because Dom and Robert were both going to Raw as two of Seth's decoys. Fun fact, that opening segment wasn't supposed to involve masks, but when all the local independent wrestlers saw the booking, they were like, I don't want my face seen on television. Let's cover this up. Wanna Breeze says, hello, R&I. The curse continued on Raw last night. Did it ever?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Wrestling Old Head said, good after morning, R&I. Fun note, for those of you, the VPN, you can hear Eddie Orengo encouraging Kaiser Americana to be more aggressive during a commercial break.
I saw that. I heard that. That was very audible. And then Michael Cole was like, Eddie Orengo admonishing El Grande Americano. Ooh, little rough. Hey,
little rough.
What else was rough? It was Raw. My goodness, Robert, we're less than a little over a month away from WrestleMania, and my goodness, WWE does not know where it's going. It feels like.
I know where they're going. It ain't a good spot.
Yes, this episode of Raw was something to not really behold. There was a few aspects I liked, but overall, Robert, it's very telling of what the situation is with WWE right now, and their creative is a complete mess.
It's a disaster. It is an absolute, unmitigated, unquestionable disaster. I don't. You know, it's funny when I started the X account, WWE Creative _ISH, which is promoted down below. It was because I was in law school, and it's like none of my friends in law school gave a damn about WWE. They did not want to hear about how bad the WWE product was. And I'm like, having sat in that room and been creative and not understanding how it had gotten to the place it was at in like the 2009, 2010 range, I was going like, I don't understand how it's going to get any worse. And then right around the time that we started doing this here show, like things were on the upswing. I'm like, everything I had been complaining about for the better part of 15 years kind of went away. There were logical storylines that were being presented. Roman Reigns since 2020 was finally being booked in a correct manner. Paul Heyman seemed to have a pretty good involvement in what was going on TV. I get that there was the COVID world and things were a little knocked out of alignment, but it felt like at every level on the show, stuff made sense. And it was a pretty good 2.5 to 3 hour viewing experience every week on Raw. Raw last night was such an unmitigated disaster. There's no other way to put it. I mean, it was so, I don't remember a time going into WrestleMania where it's like, you know what? I don't really need to watch this.
There's so many question marks, Robert, and it's not intriguing question marks. Ooh, what's happening next? But it's like, what is going on? What are they planning here? And
I know that they promoted someone to be head writer of Raw.
Alexa Williams, is that her name? I believe.
Whoever it is, barring that they have like, I don't know, like Hunter and Stephanie's daughters locked in a well, and this is the only way that they're going to be freed. What are they doing? And Road Dogg's the one
Williams.
Alexander Williams, and Road Dogg's the one that's gone.
Road Dogg's one that's gone.
And this is the product they put forth. This is unwatchable garbage. I'm sorry, I can't even put on the fake show. This is it's unwatchable garbage. It is genuinely insultingly bad television at a point in time where WWE, even back in September, October, there was a clear trajectory in where this was all going. Everything felt kind of logical. And I have never been shy when I'm watching our friends at AEW and what they're doing and saying, this didn't make sense. What the hell are they thinking? If you ask me what was good about this show, Jackie Redmond's trench coat was very April O'Neil-esque.
Oh, yes.
That's the highlight of this damn show. A trench coat was not the worst thing I had seen.
Well, was the worst thing you saw were a bunch of masked men starting off the show and then doing like a dance routine, and then one revealing them to be Seth Rollins, who didn't even talk?
I've seen cutscenes from WWE video games that made more sense than what I just saw here. So Adam Pearce calls out Seth Rollins, and then a bunch of dudes dressed in masks come pouring out. Clearly not, this was not blocked. This was not laid out. This was not, here are the cameras, here's where you're going to go, here's what you're going to do. Dogs and cats living together level of chaos.
More so.
Morons bumping into one another. To then lead to the reveal of Seth takes off his mask. And the Vision come out.
Just two. Just two people.
Who else is left? Remember, they killed Paul Heyman, which I said was a terrible idea. Braun Breaker, obviously off TV. Bronson Reed, obviously off TV. All you got is Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Worst case scenario, I think that at one point Austin Theory used that phrase. I'm like, I wouldn't say that. But then when they used the phrase worst case scenario, who came out, Dom? They used the magic word. Who's the worst case scenario to bring out in any segment?
Wait, after
L.
Oh, yes.
Night.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was so much. Yes,
dude. So much. Again, this is what I'm excited about. In 21 minutes, I'm recording with Scott Chaplin for the Working Stiff Patreon, and I get to say the word I want to say.
Yeah.
It starts with dumb. It ends with airy. And then there's a 4-letter word plugged right into the middle of this. So I'm really struggling. I am
I can't believe
so.
completely forgot about LA Knight, and I just watched Raw. Like that's how bad this segment was.
The thing with him with the ambulance last week was the dumbest thing I thought I was going to see all year. But so LA Knight comes out, who's now friends with Seth,
I guess.
and then the Usos come out because I get it. They had the issue last week with Logan Paul and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Fine. And then they're in the back, and Jackie Redmond stops them to talk about CM Punk. And Jey Uso sounded like he was about to cry. The tone that he chose to take in this instance was it's like a default that he has when he's trying to be dramatic. It's always the Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where he's talking to Uncle Phil about how his dad doesn't want him.
That's what it is. It's like the Scorn Teen. It's Scorn Teen voice.
How come he don't want me no more? That's literally every time Jey Uso tries to get emotional. And when Jimmy Uso is your voice of reason, you're in trouble. Where I also knew they were in trouble. I'm sorry, I'm just plowing through this awfulness. This is like therapy right now, darling. I'm going to get through this sucker. I don't want to peel back the curtain too much in booking world.
Okay.
But if there was a flashing red light, like at the top of an ambulance being driven by LA Knight, that said they don't know what to do and they got to kill time. You know what kind of match you book?
A schmod kind of match.
You book a gauntlet match.
Oh yeah.
You know what they booked on SmackDown on Friday night?
Did they book a gauntlet match on that?
Did you not watch SmackDown from Friday?
I didn't watch SmackDown.
There was a gauntlet match for the men's tag team titles. You know what they booked on Raw for the women's intercontinental? Yeah, because it's a great way to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 5 segments.
Right.
Let's just do Lyra versus Io. Lyra's had a lot of momentum. That momentum seems to have cooled off. So you know what the best way to heat her back up? Have her get beat clean by Io.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. Great. Makes total sense. Then you do Ivy versus Raquel, which was a way to promote the Liv Morgan Stephanie Vaquer match, which now feels secondary to the women's intercontinental title match.
The funny thing, Robert, when I was watching this, I was like, well, at least we're going to probably get like Bayley versus Rhea Ripley then at WrestleMania. And I was like, wait a second. No, this is for the Intercontinental Championship.
The Intercontinental Championship, which, by the way, the people who seem to be circling the feud for that, Becky Lynch, Natty, Maxine Dupree. What 3 names am I not going to say here today?
Those 3. They weren't there, everybody.
We got Io versus Ivy, which was short because of Raquel attacking Io. Best match Ivy Niles ever had. Then Bayley beats Ivy Nile. Then we wind up with Bayley and Asuka, where you go, we could have just saved ourselves about 15 segments and just started with Bayley and Asuka.
But no. I can't believe this speaks to how bad creative is right now. You had a gauntlet match on SmackDown, and then you had another gauntlet match on Raw.
Yes.
That's awful. That is awful. Wow.
I'm just absolutely flabbergasted. Especially because you had Bayley win. So you're not even going with an AJ versus a heel.
No, you're not.
Becky is going to wind up in this match because I got nothing else for her. You've now taken away doing Bayley and Lyra as one of the teams that may go after the women's tag titles.
Right.
So I guess Lyra's just part of the women's Andre Battle Royal.
I guess. I don't know. It's just so, again, we're just a little over a month away from WrestleMania. And this is what we're getting at this point in time.
I blame Danhausen. Danhausen's in the next segment. He curses El Grande Americano, so we get the other El Grande Americano versus Penta.
Yes, we do. And then what do you think of that match, Robert? Or promo? Let's start off with the promo.
I was just going to say, what the?
Did you know he was poor, Robert? He was poor and on the streets?
I was aware. I was aware that he was poor.
Uh-huh.
He was on the streets. If only he had a brother to lean on who perhaps also became an inspiring wrestler.
Yes. If only.
Dude, I'm just the promo made no sense. The promo went on for like an hour. The mystique of Penta is Penta doesn't need to talk.
No.
It's Zero Mero, we're good.
Mixing a mysticism with them, but they haven't done that even. Like they give them the Undertaker vibes. And no, none of that.
So Penta retains over El Grande Americano, who needed to show more aggressive. I don't know how to say ruthless aggression in Spanish.
I don't either. I can't help you.
Obviously. Then this show is a fever dream. This show is an absolute fever dream. After this, there's a Stephanie Vaquer video package talking about her feud with Liv Morgan and why she hates Liv Morgan, which would have been super effective before the Stephanie Vaquer Liv Morgan attack earlier in this very show.
Yeah.
If you needed a beat, a moment, a point in time in this broadcast to remind people there's a big epic women's title match, this was the video package. You came into WWE at the Performance Center. You trained under the best. I trained in hell. I overcame the worst, which same hell, I guess, that Penta was living in when he was poor on the streets. And this is all like an Oliver Twist faction.
Very similar stories being told.
Then
like
Judgment
the
Day.
Story told.
Yeah. So then Judgment Day is reacting to this. Dom, you're back to being laggy and 10 minutes behind.
I don't know what's going on. I blame Raw. I blame Raw for that.
You somehow even got worse. That's amazing. You're like slowly fading, like in Back to the Future. Like Marty's looking at his hand, and yeah.
I'll be back.
Now I'm just yelling into the void on my own, and that's what this is. That's what this is all about here. So, Judgment Day are in the back. They're trying to reconcile everything that they just watched on TV to make that make sense. And then they go out to the ring where Dom calls out Finn. And this is one where I'd love for our Dom to be like right here in this general vicinity to explain to me where any of this booking makes sense. So the idea was Dom, as the Intercontinental Champion and the leader of the Judgment Day, having issues with Finn Balor, who did not win the world title. And then you get to Dom turning on Finn, and then Finn getting redemption by beating Dom for the Intercontinental title, which no one else could take from him. Instead, Dom loses so that Penta can be the third wheel in an El Grande Americano feud that didn't need a third wheel. And now you got Dom turning on Finn to set up a match with no consequences.
Nothing. You took a lot of the allure away from it all. Where it is, like, you could argue that that's the most captivating feud that WWE has going right now, is a Dom Finn feud happening, if you were building it right.
I guess there was Kofi Kingston and Javon Evans, because I guess Xavier Woods is injured, and Grayson Waller has gone back to his home world since he's Poochie.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but seems like a lot to have on already when you're trying to organize WrestleMania.
I don't know. We did get Obafemi versus Rusev.
That was actually kind of booked properly, right? I think so. At least that one.
Why bring Rusev back?
Yeah, in the grand scheme of that, I agree with you. Like, why bring him back on that? But
like, you brought the dude back just to beat him pretty decisively here in a paycheck match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's it. That's the end of Raw. Nothing else happened on this show.
Oh, no.
No. My notes explicitly said Obafemi versus Rusev was the last segment on this show. So
wait, Robert, you forgot about one segment earlier on. Not only did Danhausen curse El Grande Americano, but Danhausen came out to the live crowd and was very over with that live crowd until he hawked merchandise, and then the segment ended.
I didn't see. Maybe that was on the international feed that you watched.
It must have been because I was like, that's rough. Like you get like if you're set. I thought the past couple weeks had been doing Danhausen right, handling him in the right manner, positioning him, putting him with people. But like he came out to the crowd, he was super over, and then he's like, go to www.shop.com, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it really, it's like that's not how you use them. That's not how you use them. So I guess that was on the international feed, not the actual one. Thank goodness, I guess. So that was one segment, Robert. But
It's weird that CM Punk wasn't on this show. I feel like he should have been on there at some point in time to promote WrestleMania and build some sort of intrigue or excitement. But I guess we'll just have to apologize to CM Punk for not having him on the show.
Well, I mean, I did see a little something that did close out the show, Robert. And I know you really want to talk about it.
Oh, you're talking about the moment where my soul left my body and I just collapsed on the floor like Homer Simpson. God. If you have TKO stock in any amount, one share, 100, just sell it. Burn down the village, move.
So you really like this segment, huh?
I don't want to say that I'm rooting against Hunter's heart.
Oh my.
But yeah, well, so Punk comes out completely unaware of whether or not he's a babyface or a heel. Openly admits that he has no idea if he's a babyface or a heel. The promo last week was the dumbest thing I had ever seen. Outside of the ambulance, which is still on the Mount Rushmore of stupid things that happens in wrestling.
I'm not that upset about the ambulance.
He steals an ambulance and just drives. They load him into the ambulance.
It's still kind of like fun wrestling stuff. I categorize it as that.
You're an idiot. But you know, I'm sorry, that's mean. You know what I owe you, Dom?
Huh?
You know what I owe you? I owe you an apology. See how easy that was?
Oh, thank you. Apology accepted.
So the Usos, who've been looking for Punk all episode, like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? They got the warrant, they got the loot, but they could not find the criminal. Mm-hmm. Rockapella sings them out. They come out to the ring.
Rockapella.
And they're like, hey, bud. Hey, pal. You kind of said some really awful things about our uncle. Can you apologize for that? Nah.
I'm good.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Oh, well, I will talk about this because, yes, Jey Uso came in a little hot, as CM Punk said. And it was what Robert said, overly scorn-teen Will Smith from Fresh Prince, the kind of vibes. And then Jimmy, I'll give Jimmy credit. I thought he was really good in this role that he was playing. And then Punk, though, basically, if you're put in that situation, be like, yeah, you know what? I am sorry. That was wrong of me to say that stuff. I feel bad. But they put Punk in a position where he's like, I respect Sika. I knew his uncle better or his brother better, but and then gave some context. And in a way, it was a kind of apology, but not really. And then they really wanted him to apologize. And so then Punk kept leaning into I am sorry. I'm sorry that your brother has manipulated all of you and treated you all the same way because he's an egotistical fake maniac, basically, he said. And so it wasn't really an apology. And then he gets punched by the Usos. And then it's if WWE doesn't know who's the babyface, who's the heel here, and what we talked about with AEW, the gray area of that is not intriguing, and we're getting gray areas with these guys that is not intriguing. Pick a lane on this one. If I were them, and you were running this feud, make Punk the babyface, make Roman the heel, and play it out like that. But right now, it is a jumbled, horrible mess, and it's a real shame that WWE has just lost its way in so many ways. I mean, last night I was with Rob Van Dam. We talked live about Road Dogg getting fired, and Rob went on the talk went on to talk about frustrations behind the scenes with creative and like trying to position yourself and being political and stuff like that. From what you gather with Road Dogg, he left on his own volition and was upset with how things were going in certain ways. And you think about what Road Dogg did, I never got to mention, he built Kofi Mania. He helped with Kofi Mania, was a huge advocate for that. He's done a lot of different things to get people over. And apparently on Unreal, which I don't watch because I don't like that stuff, he made the pitch for Chelsea Green to get the title back on Chelsea Green, and that got pushed away. So, I mean, frustrating, very frustrating aspects. And this is just sloppy, lazy, disorganized structure and booking and creative. I don't know what else to say about this. There's stuff. Punk is really good on the mic, so there's stuff that makes me like what the content of that exchange. But when you look at it as a whole, it's really confusing, counterproductive, and not something fans can really sink their teeth into. Because why do we like Roman? The case has not been made to like Roman. He is not here. He picks and chooses when he shows up. And then, like, he's also just he's kind of selfish, right? He's kind of selfish. Then you put Punk in this position where he takes an unnecessary dig at Roman's late father, and then he has the opportunity to kind of apologize, and he kind of doesn't. And so, and then the Usos just look like the young boys that Punk was talking about. So it's not good. It's not good. Then you look back at SmackDown, which I didn't watch, but I did see the results, and Cody wins the title. Quick pivoting. This is a mess. And WWE, I can't believe WWE put themselves in this position, to be honest. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's take some feedback in the chat here. One of Bree says, problem with having a feud with Roman and not having Heyman to do promos is you have to fill in with Usos. Again, I don't think the Usos are really the problem, even though I don't like Jay's delivery and inflection or anything like that. I think the problem is the creative at the core of it all, and the direction that they're going. Legs Louis says, at least we don't have to listen to Michael Cole channel his inner Helen Lovejoy. I won't someone please think of the WrestleMania main event? Oh man, yeah, my goodness. Yeah, that was a great reference by Robert Rockapella. I encourage all, if you're not familiar with Rockapella, to seek out Rockapella. Type in Carmen Sandiego theme Rockapella. You will not be disappointed by the hairstyles, by the people, by the tones of Rockapella. Tony Gong adds, speaking of which, I've never heard wrestled the term young boy until this feud. It sounds inappropriate in how given this game. But oh, good. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's like definitely a certain part of it. Wrestling Oldhead says the injuries really threw their game plan off, but I'm not sure they really booked ahead enough to be able to effectively pivot. Look, that's on them, though, right? I mean, injuries happen in wrestling. We're all aware of that. And so who is creative has to be aware of that. Okay, we do have to make adjustments. We do got to pivot. But when you're putting together a show like this up and down, this is not a good indicator of anything. I don't know. Was it Robert? I've listened to several shows. I can't remember if this was Robert that said that they're answering to somebody else. Like right here, it feels like it does not they're trying to appease something, and I don't know who it is or what it is, but it's not good. And WWE is, I'm excited for WrestleMania week. I'm not excited for WrestleMania. It's like the match is cultivated. There is not one match I'm super duper intrigued by at this point in time. I was intrigued initially. I was like, hey, I'm all on the ride for Punk and Roman. But look at what they've done with it. Nothing. I mean, this feels lesser than it should be because you're not giving it the proper build like you would if you're building up stars or, and you already have established stars. Like, think about Rock Austin at 17. That was exciting. The build was there was stuff to sink your teeth into. Now this is like, who am I rooting for? What is going on? So yeah, lots of work to be done on Raw, and Robert and I will talk about that tomorrow. Did want to give a shout out to one of our new sponsors here. Got to shout out Mudwater. Guys, if you like coffee like I do, and I love coffee, I also like being healthy. Mudwater gives you the best of both worlds. And it's a great product that has mushroom in it, reishi, which I really like a lot. And so if you're looking for an alternative to drinking coffee, check out Mudwater. And Mudwater is excellent choice for people that are kind of being more conscientious of that kind of stuff as well. I have just the regular straight up regular coffee version of it all, and I like it a lot. And what's great is it's easy to make. Heat up some water, take a scoop of the Mudwater, pop it in there. They give you a frother to use, which is extremely therapeutic. I've used the frother. I'll bring it on tomorrow when we have it. And then you charge it up and you froth up your Mudwater. You add milk or whatever you want to add to it. And then you have your cup of joe, and you get some nutrients and everything. And that's what's great about it all. Each ingredient in Mudwater serves a purpose with organic ingredients for a clean, natural boost. Mudwater's smooth, earthy flavors provide a delicious and natural source of energy. So every single ingredient in Mudwater product is 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. There's also zero sugar added and no sweeteners added. And the great part about it is we have a really good deal for our listeners. Ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Head to Mudwater. That's mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, our listeners get an exclusive deal up to 43% off your entire order. 43% off plus free shipping. And like I said, a free rechargeable frother when you use code RUMOR. That's right, up to 43% off with code RUMOR at mudwtr.com. After you purchase, they'll ask how you found them. Please show your support and let them know that we sent you. And yeah, if you like alternative choices of coffee and stuff like that, Mudwater is an alternative choice. Maybe you want to give a whirl and have a free frother as well. So take a look at that. So there you go. Cammy says the injury bug is the reason we need better build mid card. Exactly, 100%. All this, what I think, was kind of you had your highlight points of Raw or of SmackDown, where it's just like, all right, your big names are here. You put them in a big kind of feud or oh my God, Razor's so cute. Doing, big time things that are kind of intriguing, but throughout this process, the undercard has been very underserved. You think about somebody like a Penta, where it's just, all right, they used him and he shows up, and then you kind of forget about him. Like, he's not in anything tangible or anything. Finn Balor, who you keyed it up pretty quickly to put in this feud with Punk, was not like utilized to the best of his abilities too throughout this process. And so then you put him in Punk and it feels engaging and fun, but then you have this feud with Dom, which could be engaging and fun, but then you take away the Intercontinental Championship, a big aspect of what was going to be fun about this potential feud heading toward WrestleMania to make it feel like a big deal. This is so confusing, poorly booked. The creative is not good right now. Yeah, it's like really disheartening. So there we go. I don't know. Ron Ward says, I must see Dom Froth. There's no man ways for it to go wrong. There's so many there. So far, I've had a good run with the frother. I did do it over the sink the one time because I had a smaller mug. Actually, this mug. Speaking of Road Dogg, this was Road Dogg's old mug from the show I did. Oh, you didn't know. YTX, because we did YouTube exclusives. And so this is the mug I actually used to froth. I filled it up too much and I over frothed. Luckily, that was over the sink. But yes, so there we go. All right, Robert's not going to be back today. So we'll be back tomorrow, though, like we are every Monday through Friday here on a plethora of channels, including StudioOneSports.com. Please go to StudioOneSports.com, hit the like button, make a comment on any of those videos. Help us out. get in the algorithm. We just did live wrestling on there this past weekend. Sunday Night Slam, part of the United Wrestling Network. Dave Marquez hosts that. And well, there was some great matches on there. Richard Holiday was in action. Hammerstone was in action. A lot of familiar names that you can check out. TJP was on there as well. So I'm going to repost the video too, but it's up there live right now that you can check it out. Studio1sports.com. Also, like I said, me and RVD went live last night. RVDTV.com. The new episode will drop later today, and you will be able to enjoy it. Rob and I cover a lot of great ground on there, including Danhausen, including, like I said, the creative. Rob goes deep into the creative aspect of things. His return to the ring, which just happened. Rob gives an update on how he's feeling in the ring and how it was nice to be back in the wrestling ring after being gone a year with broken heels. So be sure to check that out. That'll be up later today. And so that was a really fun episode that we had last night. And this week too, Studio1sports.com. Fonzie and I are returning live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to talk about Fonzie's time in Florida Championship Wrestling and the CWF with Dusty Rhodes. He was there for 10 years as a referee. So we're going to cover some good ground on there. I'm going to watch a lot of the content and get myself a little educated on the subject matter. And me and Fonzie are going to have some fun. And you can join us live, 7 p.m. on Studio1sports.com. And like Robert said, Working Stiff is recording a Patreon. And I tell you what, the Patreon's been picking up. We've been getting new subscribers to that Patreon. And you can join too if you haven't. And get the Patreon episodes like Robert and Scott likely trashing Raw and how bad it was. I do owe Devin Dowling. I still got to watch Collision, actually, or at least the first 20 minutes. Devin Dowling reached out to me and said, hey, you got to watch the first 20 minutes of Collision. It's great stuff with FTR and the Rascals, and then the second match, too. So I owe that to him. I will do that before tomorrow. So, but yes, without further ado, I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. See you tomorrow. And hey, go Italy. I know we're playing the United States, but us Italians, we can play the baseball. Let's go.
Shh.